In one of our previous videos, we have learned about different body parts signified by different houses, based on which we were able to find out which body part may have certain health issues. Now, we also need to understand that every planet also signifies a certain part of the body or has an associated medical aspect with it. So, when you are trying to look for certain health issues in anyone's charts, it's also important to look from the planet's perspective. So, in this video, we are going to learn about different medical aspects represented by different planets, based on which you will be able to conclude better that what kind of health issues native might have, which planet is causing it. Stay tuned and understand more about the different medical aspects of the planet. So sun represents fatigue. We were talking about stamina. Stamina is one area that planet sun governs, right? So fatigue is related to sun. Joint pains, because I told you that bones are something that are governed by sun. So if you have joint pains, that will be, again, joint pain is also under the area of Saturn, but we'll come to that later. So if you have joint pain, sun can also be responsible for that. Any bone related issues, polio, one of them. Poor vision, because sun represents eyesight also, so poor vision is caused by malefic sun. Weak bones, high temperature. So if somebody has febrile seizures, somebody has very high fever, tendency of getting fevers which automatically, which most generally shoots to 103, 104 degrees. So you will see their sun, because their sun is impacting their overall personality a lot. So they will have very high temperatures. Sunstroke, dehydration because of excessive heat, headaches, and excessive hunger. Excessive hunger because when your sun is very strong, you have a lot of heat in your body, so your metabolism is very, very strong. Your food gets digested very quickly, and that is why such people will have excessive hunger. So all of these areas are related to sun. Now, if you look at a birth chart, you see that sun is afflicted. It's in conjunction with Rahu, or sun is placed in the 8th house, from where it aspects the second house. The second house also represents our right eye. You know that the person has a weak right eye. No, so that is how you tell people, and people say, "Oh my God, astrology is magic. How does the person know I have a weak eyesight?" So this is how you know. Now, moon, all emotional disorders, migraines, headaches, depressive tendencies, excessive stress, insomnia, all of these is related to moon. Cold, because I told you it's a watery planet, so cold, asthma, uh, suicidal tendencies. So all of that comes under the area of moon. So if somebody has afflicted moon, you know that this person will have a lot of stress, will have a lot of overthinking tendency. He or she might have trouble in sleeping. He might be having suicidal tendencies also, especially when somebody's has a malefic moon and goes through the period of moon and Saturn, or moon and Saturn, or moon or Rahu and moon and Ketu. At that time they'll have suicidal tendencies. Not necessarily, it depends upon the state of the moon in the native's birth chart, but that is how you will know that okay, this was likely to happen. All the injuries that you have, the accidents you will have, the surgeries you will have, or marrow related problems like leukemia. I told you marrow is one area that is governed by Mars. So all of those issues are under the area of Mars. Inferiority complex, because Mars represents confidence, passion, energy. Somebody having a weak Mars will have inferiority complex. Somebody having a very strong Mars will have over aggression. And then menstrual problems also. All of these problems are related to Mars. OCD, being over obsessive about something, because it has to do with your mind. You're obsessed with few things. So OCD is caused by Mercury. Skin diseases, I told earlier that Mercury governs the skin area. Weak mind. So you will see that most of the diseases that we see, or the health issues that we see under Mercury, are related to mind and intellect and all that. So low IQ, trouble in making decisions, loss of memory, neck, mouth and ear problems. You see neck, mouth and ear are related to communication, because all of that has a role to play while we talk or communicate. So anything related to these areas is actually caused most likely because of malefic or afflicted Mercury. Now Jupiter, uncertain weight gain. It will give you a tendency of weight gain all the times. Liver problems, digestive problems, because Jupiter is responsible for our digestive system. So any problems related in those areas. Diabetes,
obesity, tumor. Tumor is nothing but expansion of unnecessary expansion of cells, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So tumor, weak immunity, all of these issues are related to Jupiter. So if you see that in somebody's chart, Jupiter is placed in the sixth house in a bad state, afflicted, you know that that person has digestive issues or excessive acidity problems or diabetes or weight gain problems. So that person will have something of this. So that is how you can, by looking at the birth chart, identify what could be the health issues that the native might be going through. Now, Venus, all the sexual diseases, reproductive diseases, dissatisfactory appearance, lack of physical appeal, alcoholism, weak kidneys, these are all Venus related. Alcoholism, because Venus inclines the native towards uh, things of pleasure, and alcohol is something that a person might start as a matter of pleasure and then get addicted to it. So alcoholism is related to Venus. Kidneys are related to Venus, and the other factors we can understand based on what we have already discussed, like reproductive aspect is uh, taken care of by Venus, and our looks, how beautiful a person is in terms of physical appearance, all of that is because beauty and art and all of that is Venus area. So all that, if anybody has a problem related to these areas, then Venus has to be checked. Now coming to Saturn, muscle and bone problems. We covered that the area that is covered by Saturn is muscle, and old age diseases, chronic diseases. This we had discussed earlier also. So arthritis, paralysis, all of these kind of problems are related to Saturn. Cardiac arrest, which is a sudden issue, I mean, which suddenly happens, and Rahu is a very unpredictable planet, like we discussed. So cardiac arrest, lung failure, phobias, incurable diseases, anxiety issues, concentration problems. Now Rahu is a planet of confusion, obsession. It makes the person very self-obsessed also. It gives the qualities to the native. Sometimes natives will never be able to see the wrong in himself or herself. So all those kind of issues and which anxieties, so all of these are related to Rahu, and like phobias. So some in unexplainable diseases, all of those are because of Rahu and Ketu in a lot of cases. Ketu, because it's the planet of separation, isolation, it will give the diseases that will, separate you from others. It will cause some distance between you and others. So just like chicken pox, when you have chicken pox, you have to maintain a distance from people. Stammering, usually you would have, if you have any friend who stammers, you would have realized, or even if you don't have, you might have noticed that people who stammer, usually other people make fun of them, and they are, they have to maintain a distance from other people. So such diseases which make a person separated or isolated are all related to Ketu. Enigmatic diseases, again, which we don't know why it happened, the science just cannot identify the reason behind it, and the person is suffering and has been taking medical consultations, but the things just doesn't improve. Nothing comes in the report, everything seems to be good when we get the medical reports done, but still the suffering is there. So all of that is related to Ketu.
In our next video, we are going to talk about the different signs and their characteristics. So houses and signs are the basic concepts of astrology that you need to understand before you start understanding the more complex or detailed aspects of astrology. So do not miss our next video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done. And if you would like to go through the whole course content, do drop me an email at indianvedichouse@gmail.com. Thank you.